Yeah, but they're not allowed just yet. A with one, damaging spray onto another. In comes the MP9 now with its chance to shine. Lear C1, maybe a second. He does get that, but Beaky will get a trade. Altogether, though, Eros, they only lose one player. That is about as good as it can get. They grab their 7th, and they push forward, but this is going to have to be their bonus round unless they want to significantly upgrade. A's
Yeah,
on Fernog.
I like the fact that he is kind of upgrading, making sure that they have money to buy up, at least in the rifle sense of things. Cryptic and Umar, though, might have a hard time. There's 5 AKs on the other roster. You got lots of utility to work off of as well for GGPR. So you're going to need to close the distance here in some form or fashion, or at least maybe have a gamble stack that goes in your way, or otherwise you're going to be staring down the barrel of, AKs long range with your MPA-9. It's not ideal in terms of mounting a defense, and right now we're kind of seeing a little bit of a gamble stack in the lane side of things. 3 players huddled up, 2 of the MP9s here as well, so we'll see if this mid-control, this brackets fight is something that Eros are looking for this bonus round.
We'll see what they can do. We'll see if Eros can make the MP9s work. I do like the double stack towards Porch. I think it's a good idea if GGPR decide to clear towards A and neglect to Molotov that Porch position off. They do have a lurk in the form of ESEA. They're going to send JT and Shaniak here too to try and get an idea of what's going on. But there's going to be some big utility thrown towards B2. This should bait out a lot of utility from Eros and keep them uncertain of what's going to happen here. Yeah, and now Cryptic's all alone. This is a one and done at best here. And he's gonna face, he's gonna get one, and there it is. One and done. They still have the lurk. Lowrider over towards B. He has banana control, and they can honestly run this back towards the B side, but time is getting very low. Dangerously slow. 34 seconds on the clock. They have yet to make a move. They do have 4 smokes, but no Molotovs to prep it. And he's like, that's a huge opening, though. JT Dome Zumar, and that should just about signal that A take the A wrap. Time is dwindling. Time is low. Lowrider finished up, and in comes the veggie wrap. Jason in towards Pit. Has to hold it down. Has one. Flashes high. Might get himself a chance for a second. In they go. Beaky's gone. Exceed now has the 1v3. He's been dinked, and he should surely be dealt with. Has one for consolation, but in comes Lyricea moving in towards lane. 8-0. Oh, the time.
Oh my god. Just barely holding on right there is Eros. But again, that was a bonus round. 2 MP9s that they had to work with, and they will get decent enough money. And it will be GGPR not rocking with much here. You could definitely maybe judge a force buy here, call that one over, but they're going for pistols. Half buys in play. Exceed, he's got the 8K, but he's been knifed down a little bit. Not exactly what you want to see. Down to 70 HP as we will get maybe a 9th here for Eros. They've closed the distance quite nicely. Now, it's still not over just yet, but this is exactly what we want to see in terms of getting a comeback and gathering some momentum where they kind of lost that in the first half here.
Yeah, this is looking very much like a mirror of that first half start. Eros, they get things going well, and then GGPR, at the very least, haven't started their reign of terror just yet, and it doesn't necessarily have to happen, but it is definitely something that has to be in the back of the minds of Eros. They are prepping well, though. They've countered well. That bonus round victory is definitely something that's very important to win. Jason was that X factor in towards Pit, one of their better players overall. So when you need someone to stand up, Jason was there. The Deagles, though, can still be dangerous, and the AK in the hands of Exceed, we saw what it did last round.
Yeah, they're also kind of cheating Umar closer in the rotation here, although he's not committing anymore. More so back towards brackets as Exceed's looking to fake things out. It's going to be up to both Learcy and A to hold up this defense. They have a Molotov in the hands of A, but he hasn't thrown it down just yet. They're closing the distance very quickly. They're moving in towards CT spawn as well. Learcy's going to take the fight here initially, but they've closed the distance in towards Coffin, and A swings out into a bunch of pistols. The kills go in. Learcy trying to hold off, but luckily he's been bailed out from his teammates. Another nice headshot in from Learcy, but Exceed close. Rather, JT close with the trade. Now JT, damage probably going to be the name of the game here. Maybe a bomb plant would be the icing on the cake, but other than that, with 15 seconds, he shouldn't get much else.
He needs to die before time. I think that's objective number 1. He will accomplish that goal, but Eros will also go to within 1 round of their opposition. 2 kills for GGPR. Not too shabby overall, but the Hero AK doesn't really find anything here. It's the Deagles instead that reign supreme. I do like the idea of sitting 3 in through Church, flank around on towards that B side, but the hold was just too strong there for Eros. But look who has the op. It's in Shaniak. It might be the T side of Inferno. But the way he's been playing so far, anything can happen. He's been able to have some special moments. And I'll be looking for more of the same here. Umar does have a big green to counter on the side of Eros, and he's going to go take his talents into his apartments.
Certainly. I'd look for these. Succeed. Close range. Catches the Opera off guard. That's quite a valuable UMP right there. 2 opening frags. He's going for more. That's Cryptic able to trade it out. He has to turn around, though. He's going to just fall off the angle here. He's committed because he knows he needs a response, but there's Inshaniak's up to counter it right back. He continues to hold the line here towards Arches. And a slowly peeking in. There it goes. The AWP, the sniper from GGPR to find 2 and Exceed as well. I mean, it's been this duo the entirety of Inferno so far, getting so much value. Even a tag as well. Learsy has to run away with what he's got.
Does have an AK, but there's a hunt in here. The Flames may hold them off for now, but he's going to swing in, and Shawniak might fall here, though. And he will indeed. Learsy getting a good bang for his buck. 2 players dead. 3 total for GGPR, and they are just going to retreat here.
Scared him off.
There's an op in apartments they can just grab and save. Okay. Parting gift from Beaky.
Oh, man. What a touchdown.
Perfect.
Lovely
Please.
stuff.
That's a spike.
They had that apartments set up right there, and at that point, if you're the Opera and Umar, you just have to hold the angle. You can't move around. You've got to make sure that you trust your teammates. You can't, because if he goes down, that just nullifies the entirety of the setup, and that's exactly what happened right there. Super frustrating round to lose as well.
Now look at the money on Eros. They are broke here. Pistols out. That's how quickly tides can turn on a map like Inferno. So economy heavy on the CT side. Exceed also got knifed by his teammate for the second time in spawn in 3 rounds. So
He's not having the best luck.
Yeah, that's a little unfortunate here, but he might get himself some frags for his trouble. 1 and 2, make it a third as Umar goes knife out, just saying, you know what? Take me now.
Maybe Exceed's just playing on hard mode right now. He's like, this game's too easy. You gotta knife me, take me down a little bit, make sure that they got a chance.
Hardcore.
As we will get another buy round in here for Eros. Look at the rifles once again. Umar on the AWP. We'll see if he can have as much impact. Oh yeah, you're exactly right. And with the executes that GGPR can throw at them, that could be the game changer in this round as well. Oh my god.
Oh, he's got 2! He's gonna go for a third! He's gonna get the third! He might die, but it doesn't matter, does it? He's just single-handedly entering on the B site, Inferno! This is in Shiny X world. We are living in it and just watching him have fun.
She's giving me Zywoo flashback right there.
It's like simple.
Yeah. Who else can walk in on the banana of Inferno and find 3 entry frags with the op inside of a Molotov? Name one other player in Premier that can do that. I just cannot believe it.
I mean, I think maybe Ponalone.
Maybe. OC?
And OC. OC for sure. But then again, like, guys like Ponalone and OC, they're
I don't think they go for plays like that, right?
They don't really either. That's the thing. Nobody really goes for those types of plays, and just because it doesn't normally work out for you.
Yeah, I mean, in Shaniak, he's one to hit the pugs quite a bit, so there's no surprise that he does go for more of those buggy style plays, and I can see why. They're just a work of art whenever they pan out, and it seems like they pan out quite a bit. The opening kill success from this Opera alone is enough to win GGPR almost any map. It's enough to at least make things close, and so consistent at it as well. It's unbelievable.
I really want to know what his entry percentage has been this game so far. That is a stat I want to have.
Oh, I'd love to know, yeah. Well, we can look at the advanced stats after this one. Get a nice little. I mean, he's at least double digits opening kill.
Yeah, I think he's lost 1 opening duel. That's the thing. Maybe 2.
Yeah, it's unreal.
It's hard to lose when you keep getting the first pick.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it makes things so much easier. And Oppers in this meta so important with how expensive things are. But there's a nice response. JT. Good for 1 before he gets taken down from the pistols, but you know that there's a stack towards this A side of things, and Exceed's going to start to clear things out one by one. Arrows start to fall, and it's no commitment being made from GGPR. They don't want to walk into his stacks. They're so diligent about this one.
GGPR, it's literally a mirror of that first half. They lost the first 4, and then just take over. It necessarily hasn't been in Shaniak the whole time, but the last round he definitely was that key player. but still, they're reading this game incredibly well. They're forcing Eros to uncomfortable positions, and when they actually do take the sites, it's a flurry of frags going the way of GGPR. Eros are trying to counter by swinging in, but they're just running into a wall of bullets, bristling with guns that almost, to go with the medieval analogy, like a spear, just everywhere pointing out somewhere or other. And great flash there from Exceed too, blinds both those two players. That's another thing we haven't really been talking about. It's the utility from everybody on GGPR. It's not just the guys towards the bottom of the board. It's everyone throwing their smokes, their flashes, their nades. Everyone is doing their part. Everyone's playing together, and it's working out so well for them. This is really fun to watch the way they're playing right now.
Yeah, I mean, that was a 4v2 right there. And, you know, a lot of teams would just maybe lacklusterly clear angles. They wouldn't really fully clear them. Lazy, you know, CS. Right now, GGPR in a 4v2 against Ecos are throwing an execute on towards the B-bomb site to make sure that any sort of mistake that could be made is not the case here. And look at the amount of space that they already have in this round. They're executing into B a minute 30 seconds into the round here.
Yep. A does have an op in towards Emo, though. He will get the first kill, and that's not going to be traded back just yet. That's a good start for Eros. It's something they have failed to find for a long, long time. In comes a flashbang, though, from Umar. Learcy's going to swing. Umar actually will have lowrider dead to right. JT peeks up, and Learcy shuts him down. Spots out in Shawniak, too. A has the information. Shawniak, so tunnel vision! But he does get his kill, so I guess I don't think he's that mad. And Exceed sticks his leg a little too far out of the smoke, and he will get caught. 14-10, so Eros will find at least one. The double op does come through here, though, and it can be a little bit of a double-edged sword here on Inferno, can't it?
Yeah, it does come at a very hefty cost right now, and with how fast you can take map control, sometimes the distance gets cloned, and the op isn't the ideal weapon to work off of, but I mean, they're able to convert off that last one, so maybe it can be an answer here for Eros to work off of. They're conceding banana control early on, but again, that didn't seem to be too much of a problem for them last round, so we'll see if that can continue. Still capable of closing things out in regulation, but they're going to need a nice resurgence here, a shutdown for Shawniak's maneuvering in this one. We'll see if that's the case here. As right now, a more passive style after GGPR's full-on aggression gets punished.
Eros, that was the logical counter to hyper play from GGPR. It's just to play very passive on site, wait out the take, flash once, and then swing together. It did work out for them in the last round, but can it work again? Umar in towards the library to try and silence this push, but a nice little boost up from Exceed. He spotted the second player towards Pit too surely. At the very least, the minimap blip should be there. They're ready for this. In comes Jason. They're not clearing his angle, though. Now they will. He's dropped JT. In comes Beaky to swing. No fear from library. They know Umar's there. He does get a little tag from Graveyard, but in Shawniak finishes the job. Save call from Eros. You have to save here. You will have nothing up against map point. Learcy, this is that's 007 sketchy style, and they might just get out alive here. That's so risky, but it could be their saving grace.
Yeah, we talked about the high risk, high reward of the double up, and if you can save them, at least nullifies some of the risk. But we'll see if that's even the case. Look at this angle from Beaky. He's up high on top of the fountain. They're going to start to re-execute it towards B. They're hunting him down, and they're getting taken out. A's already fallen. It's going to be Learcy fighting for his life. He's found himself one, but one closing the gap as well. And of course, it's going to be in Shawniak winning out on that duel. No weapon saved, and it's going to be a disaster state here for Eros.
Disaster state is putting it lightly here. They're going to be able to salvage a buy, but it is looking abysmal.
Yeah.
What is the answer here for them? Is there an answer?
I mean, there's certainly not a double op in this one. That's been at least one of the rounds that they are able to convert. Instead, it's just going to be a couple SMGs, FAMAS, and lacking utility to try and close this one out. And they're kind of going back to some of the classics here. Look at the control that Eros have already been able to take. It's Exceed pushing through apartments here, just spamming Jason down to low HP, forcing him off that. Jason, you can see he's gotten flashed in, but he doesn't want it. He's shaking his head no. He's scared of pushing in any further.
And rightly so. You have Exceed, who's been an absolute menace here, entering in towards sites. The rifles in his hands have basically meant death for at least one Eros player, and the first player to contact, usually the first to fall on the CT side throughout this game. And Eros, they're playing this ultra passive style yet again. It has worked once. They needed to work a couple more times here. 5 to take it to overtime.
I don't like it that much. It's scaring me a little bit just knowing the amount of control that GGPR is able to work off of, and now the current utility that Eros has on B left to defend against and full on execute from GGPR with 2 mollies still and a bunch of smokes, flashbangs as well. They're going to start to make their move in here shortly, and this is going to be such a hard defense for Learcy and A.
Learcy, though, if he gets a couple kills here, could turn the tide. Exceeds open things up on A. However, they're still going to commit towards B as smoke goes in, and Umar finds Exceed creeping through the smoke. That's a good trade back to 4v4, but they know it's going to be B now. Learcy has not been cleared. He gets one, has a second on Twin Shaniak here. Maybe it could be a last-ditch stand. Lowrider trades. They've not cleared the Q-box. Now they do. Lowrider finishes it. Look at the spray. Umar, 2 kills through smoke. All right, buddy. Now it's all down to JT at a 1v2. Kid for Cryptic Flash as well. JT going to reposition in towards Emo. This could be a one-and-done spot for him, though he has to be careful. This is a hard spot to win a duel from. He's out in the open now, and Umar finishes the job. Eros, they will not fall just yet. They stay alive. They come out of both an op and an AK. And only 4 more rounds necessary to take us to overtime.
I mean, certainly not impossible here. They're still going to have a good buy-up considering the bomb plant exceeds. Nice cash reserve. But still, 11 on the board. Eros making a good recovery of that round. I thought that was going to go really, really poorly considering the passive style that they were playing off of. But luckily for Eros, they pushed through that smoke. And I think that GGPR know that was a mistake, judging from the result of that round here. But not many more mistakes that they can afford at the moment. GGPR, if you drop 4 in a row, Eros again, that momentum-based team that we kind of mentioned, it could be overtime coming through here. And look at the pace that they've changed. Full banana control at a minute 35. There's just more passivity from Eros that always scares me on a map like Inferno.
Yep. I mean, you've played your fair share of this game. You've played some decently high-level matches, and this never seems to really work out long-term, does it? This very passive hold.
Yeah, I mean, B executes are one of the hardest things to defend against. And you're going to need one of 2 things. You're either going to need to have banana control to avoid that, or you're going to need to have some nice counter utility to work off of. And right now, they have neither. 1 flashbang, 1 smoke in A's hands, and that's just not enough to defend. That's why you're seeing they stack 3 players over. Right now, Cryptic's playing a cheat role in CT spawn, and it's left A really vulnerable to an attack.
A is wide open. And A is over on B, so we'll see if Eros can lock things down. They're going to need a heroic performance. Umar in towards pit could be a menace. It's a great need onto Lowrider to start things off, but he's used most of his utility. Most of the utility on Eros is gone, and then Shaniak blind has dropped Cryptic. Umar, he needs this kill. That's another good molly, but look at where GGPR are running. They're all flying over towards the B site. A's going to be able to get one, but Learcy has fallen. He's all alone now, and Lowrider's next. He will get traded out, but Shaniak on a Glock will be able to get one into return, make it a 3v2. It's a split. 1 CT, 1 through Banana. Look at Shaniak up on oranges. He has the next 3 kills in the round, looking for the last on the Jason. And it will be who else but Shaniak to seal the deal here for GGPR.
Yeah, it's very, very fitting that he's the one to close things out with the 4K, man. He had an incredible game, ending things with 29 frags. I would have to say a good 10 to 15 of those kills were opening kills into the rounds. An unbelievable performance from the AWP player of GGPR. And if he can continue that to Dust 2, which I've already seen him do it, it's going to have no trouble for GGPR 2-0ing Eros here in Premier.
Yep. And all of the maps to go from a good map on to a great map for an Opper, it's Dust 2 after Inferno. So it's like a red carpet. Okay, you got 29 kills. You want 35? Well, here's Dust 2. Go have fun.
Exactly. Yeah, you couldn't ask for a much better situation. You're heading into Dust 2 with Shaniak already popping off, and it's your map pick as well. So, I mean, you couldn't ask for anything else.
No, you could not. What a performance from Shaniak, exceeding the rest of GGPR, folks. We are going to take a quick break here. When we come back, we will be in on Dust 2, map number 2 of this series, 1-0 GGPR.
Turn my heart into something gold. No, I sold my soul. devil long ago. I rode it all along on your way right before it broke. Time was thrown down the well, so I let you go. What I do right now. What I do right now for you, for you. Carolina skies in the night, floating by your side. I fell up when you fell down, but we stayed in flight. I'm laughing to myself, 'cause I know that I can't deny. I can't find what you can't hide right inside my mind. What I do right now. What I do right now for you, for you.
Show me an opening in the clouds, and I'll take it. Yeah, reminding myself to just let go. Don't wonder how far I can fall. Don't look down, never fade out. And I just wanna be someone and never fall behind again. Just keep on moving on. Never look down, never fade out. Never fade out. Oh, 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 oh. Shooting through the clouds, I know it's alright, it's alright. Heavens are the limit now. Let's fly just one more night, one more night. Don't look down, never fade out. And I just wanna be someone and never fall behind again. Just keep on moving on. Never look down, never fade out. Never fade out. Oh, 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 oh.
We're stuck in your car on a Friday night. And we laugh over stuff we try not to talk about. Still your smile keep on heating up the climate. And all the blood to my cheeks are rushing out, yeah, yeah. And by accident, you're getting closer. Well, can you tell me something, tell me something? Is it a wild shot of letting you know that you're the topic of all of my thoughts, yeah. 'Cause I'm so sick of this friend zone. I swear that you look at me differently. Whatever it is, it just feels so real. And your eyes keep on talking in the silence. And all the blood to my cheeks are rushing now, yeah, yeah. And I'm hoping you are getting closer. Well, can you tell me something, tell me something? Is it a wild shot of letting you know that you're the topic of all of my thoughts, yeah. And that I'm sick of this friend zone. Well, can you tell me something, tell me something? Well, can you tell me something, tell me something? Well, can you tell me something, tell me something? 'Cause I'm so sick of this friend zone.
Yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Woo. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Summer sauce, dripping, dripping. Woo. Got it. Yeah, yeah, got it. Yeah. Got it. You know. Yeah, you know. I'm only making moves.
And Shawniak Exceed in GGPR shut down Eros on Inferno. And now we move to the GGPR map pick. We head to Dust 2. I'm Bugs, joined by Exner. And well, we have some more great premiere action, don't we?
We really do. I mean, I just am so excited to see what Enchaniak has for us over on Dust 2. We've already talked about the Opera's Paradise that this map can lie in. And not only that, but we haven't really talked about the other side of things. We got Lowrider as well, who's obviously had himself a nice game on Inferno, and Shawniak and Nixie were kind of the duo, the wrecking ball, and I expect to see more of that on Dust 2. But Lowrider on a double op is very possible, and I've seen this guy op on the CG side. He's been so effective with it. So if they can ever get an economy rolling, we could look forward to that as well. But realistically, I'm just hoping to see more from Enchaniak. We haven't gotten those opening kill stats just yet, but once we do, we'll be able to read them off to you. I'm refreshing the page because I just want to know so badly what his impact was.
Oh yeah, same. Like that's a stat I really want to know. That was a masterclass. How to op on Inferno. Watching Shawniak's POV right there. That is about as good as it can possibly get. But looking at Dust 2 here, it's a map GGPR do quite like to play. They're 3-1 on it in the last 3 months, almost identical win percentages on CT and T side, just slightly favoring the attacking side of things. And then you look over at Eros, they played it once. That's not a good sign.
It certainly is not. It's very scary. I mean, we got to see them at the beginning of the season take on Coldest Riders on this map, and they just had a total lockdown on this Dust 2 map, and it was a seed in Shawniak that really pulled ahead of the curve here. So now we got them starting on the T side. You can already see what GGPR have in store for us. It's going to be all 5 players in T spawn, so I think there was an AFK that they were botting blocking for. It looks like it at least, but eventually they will spread themselves throughout the map here. And we have 2 full sets of utility on GGPR's roster at the moment.
I really like having all this utility on the pistol round. I think it makes things a lot easier on the takes, especially trying to deal with USPs and close that gap. And Eros, they did have a 3-2 setup here, but they have no mid control. That's a bit of a lack of, just like a black hole zone. They have no information there, and they have to be uncertain of what can happen, especially with this long control taken by GGPR. There's a lot of uncertainty going on right now, and look how this rotation is being brought
Oh,
over.
man.
Look at the player in tons. Low rider already early position. Bomb's going to rotate in. Eros are calling the bluff, though. They are going to stick another player back on B and have Jason in that limbo position, watching in towards mid, then B. Now he's going to rotate in. I like this call, though. JT, that's huge.
That's a great frag right there. Now, they haven't committed anything towards A just yet. They still have 2 players. In fact, 3 close by towards A. That smoked 4 doors is going to isolate some of these fights, but they have to find A towards the back of sight here. 5 Glocks raining out here. A's not up for the task. He'll be cleared out. Same with the likes of Cryptic here. And Shaniak doing more damage on the entry. Exceed as well. It's the Wrecking Ball duo on Dust 2 to get the job done on the B site. Now it's just Learsy through the smoke might be his only option here, as that smoke will fade away. Exceed on the headshot angle, gets spotted out. Position known here, information gained as he's trying to make his way in, trying to bait out these fights, but they're not allowing him to isolate them just yet. Giving up a chance here, but he's fully clean, he's fully committed, and it's Exceed to close things. 2 kills from Johnniak, 2 from Exceed, and GGPR will take a long fought pistol round.
They do take that one. That was a very drawn-out pistol. I think we're used to pistols going incredibly quickly.
Right.
All right, guys, let's rush something or other. GGPR, they took a very methodical approach. I very much like it, and I like the end result, too. They hit towards B. It got very close, because Heroes do have some great pistol-round aimers. We saw that on Inferno, but it was not enough to get them over the line here. Umar is going to be flashed away, too, as GGPR will default out again. But look at this catch push from Cryptic. He has a P252. He could catch somebody off guard, but Shaniak is watching for this, so I don't think Cryptic's going to be able to get too much here. JT getting harassed down, but actually, no, Shaniak blind. Umar's got another, and now things are starting to flip on its head here. B take from GGPR, but they're down 5-3. They still have rifles in their hands, but it's already become quite costly.
Certainly has here. I mean, they've only got 1 MAC-10 to work off of realistically here, so that B site isn't going to be the easiest to topple. But what do they have in store for us? 2 players moving towards the top of mid. Okay, they're getting the weapon here. And now they're going to work through tunnels. There's only 1 to meet the defense. Beaky has to multi-frag against USPs. He's good for the first. Can't find the second just yet, but the nade should do the trick here. He will find the AK kill instead, and Exceed's going to close things out. Umar may be looking to save this MAC-10, best case scenario, but that's where the B-side retake with only USPs isn't always the idealist situation there.
Yeah, you know, it was still very costly, though, for GGPR overall, losing 2 players. This bonus round is not going to be as much of a bonus as I think they would like. In fact, I think they're going to go to a pretty heavy invest instead. Okay, Beaky will be on the MAC-10. I think, though, JT's been dropped a rifle, so yeah, there's an AK for him. This is a little more expensive, I think, than GGPR would have liked for this round, but Eros' buy is far from great. They lack a lot of the critical utility. No mollies, no nades. The players are very low on it. Beaky, though, just goes flying in. That is the MAC-10 doing what MAC-10s do, but doesn't find anything at all.
Yeah, it's a little bit of information gained, and look at the skill up from GGPR towards long as well. They're starting to move pretty quickly. They've fallen off of sight as well, so the 2 catwalk players are the only 2 able to mount a real defense here. As they might just concede the control, allow for a bomb plant to go down. It's up to Exceed, really, to make this multi-pronged approach viable. Sean the first can't transfer. Cryptic's quick with the trade, and that will put a little bit of a damper on this CT side retake here. Umar boosted up as well to lock this one in for real. He is able to get out of dodge as well. And now it should just kind of close things out pretty easily here for Eros, and that's the case. Nice retake in there from Cryptic and Umar, closing things out.
It all starts with that initial pick onto Exceed on Catwalk, and the rest of the team collapses in on towards that A site, isolating those 2v1 duels against GGPR, swinging together. I think most importantly, that little cheeky boost up in elevator too was a great play there from Eros, and their retake pays off huge. It will be another reinvestment from GGPR, but it will not have a lot of utility behind it, especially Beaky and Shaniak. 1 and 2 pieces, or make it 1 and none. I'm not going to count the decoy as a piece of utility there.
Yeah, it's not the best, and especially we already know what Shaniak can do with the op. We want to get him on that as soon as possible here. It's a long control. You need a lot of utility for this one, and right now they're just lacking it. They do have one snuck through the fences here. It's going to be Likes of Inshaniak to get things done. He doesn't even need an op. He's found the opening frag here, going for more as well, making a double. One more right around the corner. He's found all 3. I mean, he just proves me wrong. As soon as I say he needs an op to find the openers, he gets 3 kills towards long, single-handedly destroying that defense.
I think he'll be happy with that caster's curse.
Oh, yeah.
Look at this take, though. Shaniak just opening that up. The sneak in front of blue, I think, was the biggest brain play he could have made there.
Yeah.
There's no real utility. Nobody's going to expect that. Nobody in their right mind would do that. But Shaniak's been making crazy plays like that this entire series, and it's not unusual for him in his normal play style either. So to see something like that, it's something you almost have to expect. You have to expect the unexpected when you're up against Shaniak and Eros. They fail to even adapt to it. Back in a couple exits here, but overall, that 3K from Shaniak is going to get GGPR back on the board here and get them back in the driver's seat.
It's just lovely stuff from him. Continued over onto Dust 2. That's a huge round as well, as we already talked about the low utility, the cost that can have on a long execute. Not having all of the flashes to throw over the long doors in order to keep those CTs at bay and force off utility is huge. And Shaniak has no trouble being able to convert off of that. You know, he gets put in a rough situation. He's able to just come out so cleanly with 3 frags. Still not on the AWP, but that's not to worry at all. We've already seen what he can do here. As we will see good buy-in still with the weapons saved. But Eros, if they don't convert off of this one, they can get off to a really slow start here.
Lots of long pressure from Eros. 4 players, and Jason's tucked in towards pit, sprays down 1. And Shaniak hides behind blue, but Cryptic's up on plat, trying to get an angle here, sprays him down. Finally finishes the job. 1 round left in the chamber. He will finally convert that one. 2 picks for the price of none for Eros. And that's what they needed. But here comes Exceed. 1, almost a second. If he got that second onto Umar and stayed alive, that would make things a whole lot easier for GGPR. But now in a 4v2, Eros have full control of this round, trying to break even here, trying to get back into the line of action, trying to cut this deficit down to 1 again, trying to reset GGPR more importantly, and try and get a little bit of a lead here in this early going. As right now, GGPR have controlled the bulk of the play, but this mid play very well could spell some difficulties for the CT side.
Yeah, they're trying to sneak out towards mid. The smoke will kind of give up the game here, maybe draw some eyes that way. Molotov doesn't quite go exactly as planned, but the second one will, as they do invest a lot of utility. They still have to crack open this B site here, and yeah, Umar's just waiting in a headshot angle with low HP. Perfect position for him to play in. We'll see if Lowrider's good for the trade. We'll crack the head open. A's still in the back of sight. Will he be expected here? Which hasn't been yet. Easy pickup right there for the last, and I really like what Eros is doing here towards long in terms of sending 4 players in that position. That is a tall tale sign of a Dust 2 team that's competent. If long control is something that you worry about, sending 4 players is a risk that you have to take, and right there it pays off with 2 opening frags immediately on the GGPR.
They have to take a risk. It's something they stopped doing on Inferno. They just turtled up in towards sites, and it did not work out. It got them a couple rounds, but it wasn't a sustainable way to win. They're trying to change the play here. Maybe Korn's words of wisdom ringing true in their minds. There's a couple deagles here for GGPR in this round. Nothing really to fight with. I think they just want a couple of kills and then to work into the next round with an op in the hands of Shaniak if
What is
possible.
going on? Cryptic, look up.
Oh. This is
Oh wait, they're on the same team. Never mind. Oh my god.
Wait, a bomb. Oh, if Lowrider ran across, he might have got the bomb plant. That could have gotten a lot worse there, and it has actually gotten a little bit worse as Exceed's picked up an AK. The bomb's yet to cross, but there's a Molotov in the hands of Exceed. Not to mention the AK. These 2 players need to be very wary. This could get a little more messy than it earlier looked, and already 2 kills. That's more than enough than what GGPR were realistically expecting. Yeah, the bomb plant would be nice, but they've got 2 rifles now. This could get to a 1v1 potentially. They're going to collapse here. They're leaving B relatively open smart because they know the bomb realistically can't be recovered without them spotting it. But I feel like maybe
They run boosted.
Oh my gosh, that's
Oh,
no
they've made it into sight.
This is not happening, right?
It's a good Molotov. That'll do a little bit of chip damage on the Exceed. It certainly forces him off the angle, and it's JT good for 2. He's going to hold down the line. 1 more to go. It's a deke, but it's not the frag. Ace saves the day, but that is a costly round nonetheless.
He ran out of ammo.
Oh my god.
One
Take a deep
more
breath.
round, and he wins that. Oh my gosh.
I mean, even
That-
if you're GGPR here, you got to be so happy with the economy that you built up for yourself. And you can see in Shaniak on the AWP, a very, very costly round right there for Eros as well. Double op still brought out, though, from the CT side, so it can have their impact.
I'm still a little stunned about that last round, but JT finished
Oh.
off by Jason early, holding on to that secondary op. The flashbangs work though, and Beaky's gone forward. Learsy taken down. Jason may just reaggress here, but I think GGPR are happy with the 4v4. They're going to fall away, leave Exceed in towards Pit. And now he's backed away, and Shaniak holds it down with a big green gun, and Eros are completely abandoning this A site. The smokes are going to come in for the cross for the T side. They're going to try and work their way up on towards A. Cryptic's holding in towards Cat from the looks of things, and Jason going to keep an eye on things from CT spawn, but that's not really going to work out too well for him. Molotovs will go in to clear the site, and Cryptic's probably just better off waiting for his team to retake here. Is a little bit of chip damage goes away onto Jason too from Little Rider spawn spam. GGPR are going to get another bomb down in this 4v4. If Eros don't get a pick or two quickly, they probably will just have to save here given the lack of economy.
It's always a risk going for these retakes, especially when you have an even situation. They're going to try and work their way up towards Catwalk combined with CT, but it's heavy presence in these positions, and it's just going to be picks from Lowrider that are coming through. Exceed the same. Lowrider's good for 2 here, and A is wondering what on earth happened to the rest of his teammates here as they all get shut down on the inbound. He's forced to retreat here. Gets the op on his way out. Almost costed his life, but he's hungry. He'll go back for second pickings and take down Beaky. That will be the round, though, in GGPR's favor, and that's the issue right there. It's so hard to get the retakes done. Once you know you only have, 2 prongs of approach. If you had maybe a player towards long, I was able to move quickly, but even situations and you're all trying to run up Catwalk, that's not going to work 9 times out of 10.
Yep, especially with the lack of utility too for that retake. No smokes for cross, for elbow, no flashbangs ready to go high, no Molotov sets. There's just nothing there. They're just running in blind, and those dry peaks are not going to work for you most of the time. Evidenced right there by Eros, and they're going to go for a bit of a half buy, force buy on Learsy, Jason, and Cryptic. This is a very interesting move. They're going to buy around the op, and it might actually get one. That's Lowrider to fall. A gets a second. Okay, now maybe there's something behind this round. The bomb's still in spawn, and Exceed gets done. No way, Umar's got 2 with a 5-7. This is catastrophe for GGPR right now.
What on earth? Umar's just long-range sniping with the 5-7 right there. Now it's going to be in Shani Akabiki looking to bail their way out of the situation. There's 2 low HP bars here that can take care of those 2 names quickly. As you can see, Beaky out towards middle, trying to catch Umar off guard, but Umar's playing it very carefully. He's getting up close towards the boxes. No peeks coming through. It's a little bit of mistiming. They hear the nade damage come through, but it's not going to deter Umar from jumping up on the boxes, and Shaniak's good for that frag, and they're going to continue in towards this B site, where they walk into a trap here. A's good for 3 in the round, and it will close things out 4-4.
Well, GGPR managed to have some success with lesser weaponry. Eros converted into a round win. So, for them, that's a very good answer back. GGPR, they're back on pistols. Can't help but think they got a little overzealous out towards long, though. They just tried to bully their way through, and Eros, they had that player in hit. They had Umar, and Umar was dialed in. He continues that with a nice opening op pick onto Inshaniak. GGPR with the pistols are going to have a little more of a loose round. Probably just fly out through middle with these 3 players and have Beaky swing in towards the site. He'll swing prematurely though and get caught out in a 1v1. All but finished off there is now Cat's going to be the play. Learsy holding this with the op though. No flashes. That's a kill zone box for him. Should at least get a second. He does indeed manage that, and JT will be eliminated in due turn. He's just awaiting his imminent demise, and well, here comes the boost. Cryptic's up, and JT's down.
There we are. 5-4. Eros showing that Dust 2, it's not one of the more comfortable maps, but they can get the job done. The double op, like we mentioned, on this map can be very lethal. And you saw right there that Umar towards mid and Learsy in that card position. Exactly where you want those 2 ops to be right there for some high impact. And another half by in play here for GGPR. This could be 6 and maybe one of the most stable halves from Eros so far in this best of 3.
Yeah, and what they need right now is some confidence. They need some momentum going back in their favor. After Inferno was stolen away from them, they need whatever they can grab right now. Nuke would be our 3rd map too, so Right now, they can take Dust too. There is Nuka waiting, but look at this lineup. 1, 2, 3 for Cryptic. That, I think anyone would take any day. Pistols, no armor. A nice little close grouping. Easy 3K spray.
Yeah, it's Umar and Cryptic as well, making sure that they get those confidence kills on the ecos. Really critical. As once you kind of see someone join Jason, I mean, Jason had a great Inferno, despite losing it. If he does have someone joining him in that, high scoreboard scenario, they can make a real run on Dust here. But it's not going to happen. Jackson already spiraling, spams through the smoke as well, not connecting. Cryptic's hungry for the fight here. He's good for the transfer onto one. Can't find Beaky, so close to finding the Tracers, but things will start to slow down a little bit. They make their way towards Pit. Now Umar, he's going to have to fight his way out of the situation.
It's a great molly. It forces Umar into the open. That smoke is good for cover. He does catch off Exceed, but in comes JT. Beaky through the smoke eliminates Umar. And now it's a 3v2 in the favor of GGPR. Beaky will take that bomb and try and cross. Ooh, the sprays will not catch him. Beaky can't get that plant down inside double stack. He'll get it planted for Plat. Shaniak in towards Pit will hold things down if he can. This double up on ramp, though, could be a bit of a lineup if they're not careful. Nice little flash from Shaniak. Nobody will peek off of it. But in comes Learsy, making a ton of noise. Drops, jumps again. He's not spotted JT, though, and this is where things could go away. Oh, JT's out in the open. There's a gap in Learsy. 2v2. Beaky eliminated. 2v1. And look where the smoke is. It's just high enough, I think. Oh, and Shaniak over towards Plat. Finishes off the first. Now, time on his side. Learsy holding, dropped by Shaniak. And that's why you have to keep the op out of this man's hands. He will punish you. He does so here. 6-5. Eros, they still have a lead, but for how long it seemed like it could be quickly fleeting. They did come close, but they still seem so far.
Yeah, I mean, even with that plant right there, Learsy finding those 2 kills, it was nice, but with the positioning from Shaniak, there was no real chance unless they had a smoke for that bomb. So now the long aggression coming through once again. It's met with 3 players, but now they're a little bit scared to take the fight after losing it last round. You can see that the conditioning coming through from GGPR, it's a little bit scary. And look who's through the smoke. It's Beaky with 2. He's even not traded just yet. He does some good damage on the Crypt that keeps him at watch here as he's forced to reload and fall off. Control given up once again for GGPR.
Great flashbang there from JT to facilitate the peaks. Upgrade to an AK now to Exceed. Finishes off Umar. Cryptic swings only good for 1. An A over towards B. I don't know what he can do. Is it some sort of sick joke, too, that they have A play on B site? What seems like every map.
Maybe it's just like a confusing thing. It's like if he's playing A, then, it's like they're executing A. Well, I guess that would make more sense if he was an A player, huh?
Yeah.
I don't know. Definitely probably going by a first name basis rather than the in-game name if you're A's teammate at the moment, I'd have to imagine. But you will be saving in a nice little corner.
He might catch Shaniak.
Look at him. Do you think he checks this corner?
No, there's no way he checks this, right?
Okay, he's turning away. He knows the value of that op in his hands.
Yeah, he needs to keep that. And GGPR really need to keep that. Oh, he smells it. He smells
Yeah, I know. It looks like he has an idea, man. I wouldn't be surprised if he knew.
He can't peek that, though. He needs to keep that op up. Let them save the M4. Let them eat cake. That's a parting gesture.
Tied up once again. Yeah, I don't know how they're able to afford this.
That's risky. They're going all in on this round.
This is the time to do it right now. You could solidify a nice little lead, keep that economy at bay as well if you're Eros. On a GGPR, it's JT out towards long already, and he's solo taking long control is so valuable. Limited resources put into his position, and he's able to get so much out of it as well. And now 4 players stacked over in the upper tunnels. This is going to be a really hard defense here, and it's only going to be Jason with no armor to work off of as well.
Limited resources. It's not even a rifle. It's a MAC 10 pushed out in towards long. A couple flashes out from the Rider to try and bait in utility or rotations. In comes another. Nobody's peeking. Jason's holding at range with the op in towards back sight. Look at this cat presence, though. This could ruin the day of JT, who's now left the long area. He's gone towards middle. Flashbangs in. Molly's out. Counter smoke finally in. Jason swings for 1. Has a second 2. Can he grab the third? No. JT Lowrider, quick kills. Clearsea drops down, has another, but it's a 2v2 as Lowrider has 2. Bomb going down, in comes the retake. Molly on both players. One gets used, re-smoke in towards door. Second Molly used under window. Smoke comes in, flashbang ready. 2 of them actually go in towards high sight. Lowrider will not get blind. They both clear car. This is a prime farm for Lowrider. Spots the shadow. Has the lineup. It's in Shawniak to help out. And GGPR grab a lead back again here. 7-6. And it seems that Lowrider and Shawniak Exceed can make the impossible possible. But what was it all that started things off? It was that long control and that mid pick, really, from JT.
I mean, they had to commit so much resources in terms of players towards A, just knowing that long was compromised. They didn't have that control. And again, it was that one MAC-10, like you mentioned, 2 flashbangs was all it took to scare them off of that position. And now that heavy investment, that risky play gets punished. Exceed, going to make it even worse with that opening frag taking down Jason. Turns around. I mean, A should have him dead to rights here. Surely not quite, though. A, he gets taken down, and then Shawniak as well. The wrecking ball's back on Dust 2, and it's a Shawniak and Exceed finding so much success, and Shawniak will be found out eventually. And Cryptic, easy off to try and hold on to that AWP.
And they're hunting now. Exceed, looking for the 4K. Charging forward, spraying down Cryptic. The Glock is out to finish the job. Oh, that's salt in the wound. That's salt and lemon juice in the wound, man. That's not even salt.
Oh boy, it's good stuff from GGPR right now. I'm loving what I'm seeing. It's just so fun to watch. You got Exceed, nasty with the rifle, and of course, then Shawniak is a staple on the op here. He's gonna go for a mid pick. As they do smoke the cross, you won't get anything to work off of. Umar's trying to peek around the smoke, and long control being pressed as well. It finally does seem like GGPR are going to lose out on that one. Same with Cryptic, able to take down Beaky, and this is a great start. Finally, something rolling for the CT side.
And it really comes from just a lack of temperance from GGPR. They just go for a bit of a foolhardy smoke play out towards long. They've tried that long play how many times now? About 90% of these rounds, it seems they've sent somebody out long, and it gets punished again. It just seems like they were like, you know what, we just won that last round so convincingly. Let's just run at these guys and have fun. It did not work out too well for them here, and they're going to be paying for it. As I don't think there's much of a chance for them to win this round. There's 5 players alive for Eros. They might have basically one piece of utility. One smoke is all they have for util. There's 57 seconds left in this round, but against 2 players, these 5 should be more than enough to lock it down. And Shawniak will get flashed in the cat, but still, I think at 8-7 is where we're going to sit here, and GGPR just a little too free with their movement.
We even saw it on Inferno when they had a nice, comfortable position at the end that they did get a little bit crazy with their aggression, and it was not really fully met with the full utility. I mean, it did work out in that last round where they were able to send the MAC-10 out, so it definitely has its place in the matchup. Just not in this round. He didn't have the same success. We will end 8-7. GGPR still maintaining that lead, and so that's going to be a huge factor. Now they got that CT side. Now they can start to bring out that double op. That can bring out so much comfort here. Lowrider and Shawniak could be holding that mantle. And once you get an AK and Exceed's hands on that CT side, things could get really scary. Now, Eros, though, still put themselves in a nice position as well.
Yeah, you know, Eros on the T side, it is their more favorable side here on Dust 2, and it's a very close matchup. A pistol round can get them a lead here. So they're by no means out of this one, but it is GGPR's map pick, and I can't help but think that the op of Shawniak on CT side is going to be a force to be reckoned with. Exceed 2 holding things down, and Lowrider, we all know how good he can be with his back up against the wall. So for Eros, they're really going to need to get out of the gate fast. They're going to need to get this pistol round. They're going to need to win it clean, and they're going to need to build off of this if they want a chance at nuke.
And look at this, just more utility bought up here on the CT side for GGPR. Same, though, for Eros. They've got quite a bit to work off of. We'll see if they have the same sort of T-side depth, though. I mean, we saw so many fakes come out. You might not need depth, though. You got a long-range shot from Cryptic. That's some range in that one. There is a nice follow-up grenade. It's going to scare them off of any further catwalk aggression, but they're still trying to scale up here. Beaky is going to be left with the defense, and they're making their way in, but they have to hold on. Flashbang blinds up JT. Can't help out his teammates just yet. They got a nice crossfire, but they're going to start to close the distance to the pistols. Get the job done. Eros on for a nice couple of kills, and maybe a pistol round underway as well.
That would be 3 of 4 pistol rounds so far converted for Eros if they're able to finish this one off, and I wouldn't be surprised if they don't at this point. Nice little double dink there onto Inshaniak and Exceed. Not much you can really do here. The P250 from Cryptic should be able to get 2 here in the round, maybe a third. And it's really that mid pick that started this all off. Without that pick, it's a lot more difficult. You have the information. Exceed's going to get one parting, maybe a second.
Might need some help with the pistol DMs there. You will find that one. That hits the hard shots.
Yep. Only the hard shots. You ever have somebody like that? It's like only hit the most miraculous shots, and then the easy ones just never get finished. Oh, he got some counter at the end. Okay.
There you go. I mean, it certainly it almost seems likely at this point. Some players are just like that. They feel like they need to flick around a little bit. Maybe it's that introduction of aim labs into our game here to really make that the case. But either way, we got ourselves a UMP in here, and actually a Molotov as well. Exceed off of those frags was able to get so much done. Molotov towards long, and he might be able to mount a real defense here. Flashbang set up as well, and they're trying to fight for it. Blue bin control from A, and it's going to drop the only SMG in the round here, so that really puts a damper on GGPR's chances.
And the Mag 7's over on B. If that's anything more than about 5 feet in front of you, it's not going to be the best of guns to fight with. I'm surprised it didn't go with a Nova for a map like Dust 2. I feel like maybe the extra range could help out a little bit more. Plus, it's a little cheaper, so you can get some extra util, but maybe it's just my Nova preference over the Mag 7 that's being a bias in my mind. Lowrider, little contact out towards Cat. They really want to end, it seems, and maybe that Mag 7 can come up with a little something special.
Oh, yeah. Beaky, close range. He's going to start to hear some footsteps as well. You can see the movement from the CTs. He's going to peek off of it. One head cleared off. Umar spiraling. They're going to continue the issue. Dink down as well. A couple low HP bars around the corner, and the cavalry is alive, and it might not matter. Jason and Cryptic going to clean out too. And the rotates do get cut off. The rifles might just not be enough to close the distance, and they even have a flank for Inshaniak. So while he is going to put up a good fight, A's going to close it down. Eros with a 9th. And I think we might have a little Mag 7 versus Nova rivalry for us Boggs, because I believe in the Mag 7 ability. I'm a big Mag 7 advocate.
I'm a big Nova guy, but I like the XM over both.
Oh, yeah, we'll agree on that one. A nice middle ground.
The XM. Look at this cat. This is a farm for here. Has to be A with 2. That's going to be easy money. Not going to get the third, but in comes Jason. Umar mops up another. And JT, the last alive on A, should be getting swept up into the dustpan here pretty quickly. Maybe one cheeky kill. Yeah, actually, that's not too bad.
Yeah, not terrible. Dropping 2 guns there with what they had is not the worst thing in the world. It's still Eros hitting double digits first. And Shaniak gets that 3rd round op here. Iki going for the rifle. So I was going to see if they're going for an early double up. I don't think it really needs to be a risk that is required just yet. They don't have to go for it. So I'm going to prioritize that utility instead, especially as Biki's going to be more towards that B-side anchor, it seems. And they're going to head his way. 3 players in tunnels early on here. Waiting for that grenade. Gonna throw that down, and it's a little bit of chip damage, but not exactly the 50 that you're looking for.
It still does a good amount onto A, so I think they'll be happy with that. This cat lurk from Learsy, though, could get something good going on as Exceed. It's going to get forced forward by the Molotov. The switch, though, to the flashbang. It's actually going to save Learsy's life. He throws it out, but in comes Exceed. He'll win that duel relatively cleanly. The beat pop will come through, though. Lowrider caught out, blind as a bat, and now it all rests on the shoulders of Beaky. He nets one from tall box, but Cryptic swings from the side. 3v3 B set, a bastion of defenders. Should be able to be held off by Eros, and listen to Shaniak can get himself a shot to the door right on the pre-fire. He has the shot! No way! A is so looking to be on that. Nade's got him. That's got him. Dunk on towards A. And well, that is unlucky for Eros. I'm sure A is hating life right now. Cryptic, though, will rotate under window. They probably won't expect it. Here comes the high flash. Second one will follow. In comes the push. And it's going to be Umar. Cryptic, 2 quick kills. And Shaniak, though, has the first and the second. And, of course, he does. He has been